Last week or 2 weeks ago at this point, I did a little Q&A and had some people ask some questions, prompted by me saying that we were not selling the flip and that we were actually going to be keeping it as a rental property because that's helping us get closer to our financially free goal. And I had some questions in regards to that and some other things, and then I just ghosted you and never answered any of them. So let's hop into those, and if you have any additional questions, you can ask them now. Okay, so this one first. Our first one, did we lease it or sell it, and did we get a loan? I feel like it's kind of a hard question to answer. So the very first house that we bought, we lived in for 2 years and we did some minor renovations, and then we sold it 2 years later for profit. And we did that again. And with that, we had a chunk of money that we then went and bought a flip. While living in another house, we also bought a flip, renovated that flip, and then sold that for a profit. With that profit, we then bought our first rental property. We had a loan for all of those. So with the flip, we had a loan, and also with our rental property, we have a loan. On all of our rental properties, we have loans. The amount of times I get asked this question, this is probably the number one question I get asked. Do we do consultations? Well, let's start with that one. Do I do consultations where I would come to your house and give you advice? I don't. I would love to eventually start to do that. Right now, I'm just trying to figure out how there can be more time in the day. To be honest, I still work full time. So working full time when we're also renovating another home, and then we're doing projects on our home, and then sometimes we have, sponsorships that we're working with. It seems like I'm kind of losing my mind. It's a lot to take on. So that being said, it's a goal of mine to eventually be able to fully submerge myself into interior design. And I would love to be able to go into someone's house and give them advice on minor and major things that they could do. So maybe at some point I will start to do this. That being said, I would love to know though, what you would pay for that. Seriously, I do want to know that because I feel like I get asked that a lot, and people will be like, I'll pay you. And I'm like, great. But if I'm in charge of pricing, I'm probably going to tell you it's free because that's just how it is. When I used to do cakes, I was terrible at that. I'm so bad at that. I always want to give everyone a discount because everyone is my best friend. So that being said, what would you pay for that? If someone was to come into your house and they were to go into rooms or a room and tell you what they think should be done, and then they followed up with a mood board, what would you pay for something like that? Okay, so what are my thoughts on Airbnb versus rental properties? I honestly think they're both great. I think that they can be valuable for different reasons. So Airbnb, I think it's all about location. I think that if you have the right location, then you can be making a crazy amount of money every single month. The issue is I think it's hard sometimes to find an Airbnb where you're getting it for a good price, where the numbers make sense, and that it's in a desirable location. So I think they're harder to find. However, we look all the time. So whenever that time does come that we find one that makes sense, we're going to hop on it because we would love to do that. I would love to be able to have a vacation home that we're making money off of. And I love the idea that I can have so much more fun with design. I love rental properties, obviously. That's kind of the path we've gone down. What I love about rental properties is that we have a year lease with someone. We know what to expect as far as what we're going to be making off of that one property every single month, and that it gets us closer to our financially free goal. So, me and Noah have this number that we want to hit, and when we hit that number, that means that our rental properties are paying for our cost of living, which means that me and Noah could decide to quit our job someday if we want to. I think that me and Noah don't know how to sit still. I think we will always flip a house, or we will take on side projects, or we will still work. I don't know. We don't know. But we like the idea that rental properties could, provide us a X amount of number every single month. And we also love that they're always going to appreciate. So what we bought a rental property for, 4 years ago has only gone up in value. So if we want to sell it in 10 years, we're going to make a lot more money than if we sold it last year. We ever do projects for other people. This is something that we've thought about multiple times. Obviously, we had asked it a lot. Right now, we don't. As I kind of mentioned, I feel like we just don't have enough time in the day. But maybe someday we will. I feel like it would be fun to do it. I love being able to do projects at other people's houses because Lord knows I don't have that many more rooms in my house that I can touch. So maybe in the next couple years, or I don't know. Stay tuned. It could happen.